think of people's words like stones dropped into a pond. Most of the surface chatter is just ripples, but every now and then a stone hits deeper, heavier with emotional weight. Erickson noticed when people speak word salad, they're still unconsciously leaning into certain words, heavier, slower, sharper. These are anchors. They're like the bass notes in a song. If you catch them and echo them back, the whole nervous system of the other person lights up because it feels recognized. Imagine a child babbling nonsense, but suddenly screaming "mind" louder. You don't need to understand the rest. You know the word carries the whole nervous system's meaning. That's interspersal. It's the Jedi move. Hide a seed inside their own language, then feed it back until it grows. So how do you already do this? You mimic your friend's laugh without thinking, matching and mirroring unconsciously. You've heard someone mispronounce a word and immediately set it back the same way, because your brain latches on. You've had conversations where someone repeats your exact phrase, and you feel oddly bonded, like they get you. That's the primitive form. What Erickson did was weaponize it into elegance. The big picture: if someone says, "I feel stuck in this job," you zoom out. Isn't it wild how we humans cling to safety, even when it kills us slowly? That reframes their complaint as part of the universal human condition. Now they're not just whining, they're standing in the river of history. Go to the details, same phrase, but you go microscopic. Where do you feel the stuckness? In your chest or in your stomach? Suddenly it's somatic, it's tangible. Both are doorways. One lifts them into meaning, one grounds them into the body, done right. You spiral between them. Zoom lens out, then microscopic in. That spiral movement itself pulls the nervous system into trance. Every complaint hides a value. I hate my job. It means I value freedom, creativity, growth. I can't trust people. It means I value honesty, safety, loyalty. So you pace their pain. Yeah, that betrayal hurts, because honesty matters so deeply to you. And then you lead with a reframe. And isn't it true that those who value honesty, they're the only ones who can spot dishonesty so quickly? That's not weakness, that's your radar. See what happened? Their pain became the proof of their strength. Instant rapport, instant reframing. So why does the brain fall for this? Neurologically, confusion opens loops. When the brain can't resolve a pattern, it gets restless, it wants closure. That's why a cliffhanger keeps you glued to Netflix. In Ericksonian language, you confuse deliberately, then slip in the new pattern as the resolution. You ever try to remember a word, and it's right there on the tip of your tongue? And the more you try, the further it slips, until suddenly, bam, it drops in, and you feel the relief. That's exactly what happens when you let your unconscious reorganize this old stuck belief. You've hijacked a lived experience and turned it into a metaphor for transformation. The karma of not doing this. The fear. What if people think I'm manipulating? Reality. You're already manipulating. Every parent, teacher, marketer, priest and lover is doing it. The question isn't if, but with what intention. The karma of neglect. If you don't learn to listen, for the deep words. You'll keep dancing at the surface of conversations, missing the tectonic patterns underneath. That means you'll stay small, unheard, ineffective. Your ideas won't land. Your truth will bounce off like pebbles on steel. The karma of mastery. People feel seen. Their nervous system relaxes around you. Suddenly, you're not pushing change. You're being pulled into by them. Because you've touched the frequency where they already live. Imagine a giant door with 1,000 locks. Most people shove it, kick it, scream at it. You carry one tiny skeleton key. Listening for the emphasized word. It's like a tumbler falling into place. Click, the door opens. Was it force? No, it was finesse. The patterns that keep people stuck. Spinning in surface problems instead of touching core values. Defending limiting beliefs as if they're identity. I'm just bad with people. Avoiding discomfort instead of riding it. Mistaking noise for signal. These are loops. Your job isn't to break them violently. It's to slip into a new rhythm so the nervous system chooses to step out. If you don't learn to hear people's emphasized words, you'll keep arguing with their masks instead of speaking to their soul. And honestly, life is too short for bullshit conversations. When you do learn it, people lean in. They stop resisting. Because finally they feel like someone is playing the same goddamn song they've been humming their whole life. Interspersal. Listen for the sacred words buried in the nonsense. Echo. Feed them back with precision and timing. The big picture. Lift them into universal meaning. The details. Drop them into embodied specificity. The criteria elicitation. Discover the value inside their pain. The reframe. Turn the value into their strength. Confusion. Pry open the door. Resolution. Slip in the upgrade. You already do this unconsciously. The invitation now is to do it with precision, with science, with a kind of fatherly, stop fucking around clarity. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs mirrors that actually reflect. So I'll ask you, when you think of your own life, where do you already catch the emphasized words? With your family? In your own inner self-talk? And what shifts the moment you realise those words, they're not random. They're unconscious flagging what matters the most. Because once you notice that, you'll never listen in the same way again.